Hello and welcome. This will be my take on the new moon in Capricorn that is taking place on December 23rd, 5:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Adjust accordingly to where you are on the planet. So reflections of Capricorn energy, huge times. It is the month of December. The sun moved into Capricorn on the 21st, which is the initiation of the solstice, a balance of the dark and the light in the northern southern hemisphere. And the day prior, on the 20th, we have Jupiter entering Aries. And this is an initiation of a 12-year cycle that is beginning. So Jupiter expands anything that it touches, and in the sign of Aries, which is another cardinal energy along with this Capricorn energy we're talking about today, it just shows us that this cycle that we're in is really an initiation, because both Aries and Capricorn are cardinal energies. Cardinal energies are the initiators of the zodiacs. And it's squaring, the sun is squaring up to this Jupiter. So the big planet of the benefic that is expanding everything that it touches is squaring the sun. So we may be, while it is a time in the winter months in the northern hemisphere to be still anyway, but feeling a freshness and a newness within us, an initiation, a reflecting on the Capricorn energy, in which I've been blessed to have beautiful earth energy in my world, my son and my husband both being Capricorns. You know, they're hard workers, they're dutiful. They represent the 10th house, which is our mark in the world. And the downside to the Capricorn energy is because it's ruled by Saturn, the planet of not only restrictions, but it's known as the taskmaster, father time, restrictions. So on the low vibe of Capricorn energy, it can, cause depression if we're not in our awareness. And that's why I love to utilize the astrology to help us work through these cycles, because that's what it is here on the planet Earth, is cycles. So Capricorn energy, again, like I said, ruled by Saturn, is the part of us that accepts a challenge to gain wisdom. And a lot of times, if you have a lot of energy in Capricorn, you go through a lot of hard knocks in your younger years, but those things that we experience on the earth plane, right? Because it represents the 10th house, our mark in the world, the things that we learn, the things that we may feel restricted by, are the very things that can create us to, transform into that elder, to have learned through the life experiences and take that knowledge forward in the world. So the 10th house represents your achievements. And like I said, the status in the outside world. We do live on an earth plane of restrictions and that Saturn energy coming up. So Capricorn energy can be very serious. They can feel very dutiful. But the downside is not to become a workaholic, and not to stop and smell the roses, so to speak, and get in tune with their emotions. Because if they check out, this is what we do. Capricorn Cancer is the access, right? So the Capricorn energy is very dutiful and whatever, but if they're not in tune with their emotions, Cancer, onto what drives them to be so dutiful, it can be inharmonious. They can be not in tune with their emotions and just be focusing on their achievement. So it's important to balance that out within all of us. So the Capricorn energy is also very ambitious. And so we are all made up of all four elements, and we have all of these energies within us. So again, if you have planets or placements there in Capricorn energy, it's going to be more significant for you. But again, this is a collective reading for everybody for the new moon. And then just the fact that this new moon is happening at early degrees, 1 minute 32, or 1 degree 32 minutes. It's another indication that it's a huge initiation. And for me, I'm feeling like we're really needing to learn and master the life experiences that we've all been through on the planet over the last 2 years specifically, but lifetime really. But over the last 2 years and all the craziness and the misconceptions and all of the lies and deceptions, we're really needing to ground into our bodies and have a firm understanding of who we are, so we can make our mark in the world, like the Capricorn energy so loves to do. You know, learning from the mistakes, not being caught up in the deception of what other people may or may not be doing. And I think the spirit of fire within us really needs to be initiated right now with this new moon in Capricorn squaring up to Jupiter going into Aries for the next 12-year cycle that's initiating again. We got to really be lit on fire right now on who we are and how we want to go forward in the world, right? 10th house, knowing who we are so that we're not thrown off kilter by the things that we continue to see be revealed, that maybe we have been lied to, but maybe you're awakening to that. Again, another huge role in all of this, we cannot omit this, is the Pluto return of the United States. I just want to pull up the chart real quick here to see where Pluto is at the time of this new moon. 27 degrees. So it is exactly what I do believe the United States natal is. And it's in that restrictive energy, top-down authority. Pluto's in there dismantling the deceptions, the lies. So we're going to have a dismantling of all the systems that have been in place because they were not built. They were maybe intentionally built on integrity, but the greed, the lower aspect of the energy of Capricorn can be stepping on top of other people just for your own gain, right? So all of this playing a role. And personally, on a personal level today, with this being a new moon, squaring up to Jupiter in Aries, starting a 12-year cycle, we really want to know who we are and what our place and our role is in the world. So that means speaking up when you need to speak up, drawing a line in the sand for the things that keep getting revealed, that are, you know, lies dismantled. I keep saying we're in Revelations, but it's nothing new. It's just those people in authority have amped up their game because they know astrology too. And they know we're in an awakening. So the fear mongering over the past 2 years specifically has been ramped up to keep you in a lower vibration. We are ascending, our planet is ascending. It's a spiral effect. I don't feel in my heart of hearts that we're being raptured out of here by anything. I feel we have to be present in our body and take action on the mark that we want to leave in the world, right? Oops, I'm disappearing out of the screen. We want to make our mark. We want to be serious. We want to think about what we're embodying, but not to the point where you're forgetting what your roots are and what your security is, because it don't come from the government, the school, the top-down authorities that have basically blindsided and manipulated all of us. And again, the Saturn energy can be restrictive, but the point of that being is that we learn from the restrictions and how to navigate that energy. So here we got the sun and the moon side by side, 1 degree 32 minutes of Capricorn. We also have Mercury right there and Venus. Both now, I believe, evening stars, is it? Yes, they're going to be both visible. So Mercury will be going retrograde the week prior on the 29th. So again, never buy into the superficial meaning of Mercury retrograde, because you really can you know, reflect and review and redo and reanalyze any of these things that are in Capricorn, right? We might go in a deep dive with reflecting on what we've all been through, where the restrictions were, what the true detriment was of what the lockdowns were that these people put upon us. Because to me, I said it from the beginning, lockdown is a freaking prison term. I don't need a government or anybody else telling me where to go, what to do, and all of that shit. It was just a test run for something very bigger, much bigger, that's nefarious, if you ask me. So we got to know who we are and our place in the world. And you and I are not any less than these people that were telling us and dictating over what we do, especially over the past 2 years. So we want to expand upon that, starting a new 2-year cycle with Jupiter moving back into Aries and going to start its 12-year cycle. And starting out in Aries, right? Spirit of fire, to me, that's what keeps coming up. It's boom, Aries, you in the body as spirit. So yeah, it's time to plant that seed under this new moon. And start really to begin to plant the seed of what you want to do, making your way forward in the world. And again, never ignoring your emotions, because that can be the downside of the Capricorn energy. So I want to read the Sabia Symbol, and then we'll do a few cards for this Capricorn new moon. I'd like to take the time right now before I do read the Sabia Symbol. If you're new today, I hope you like it here. I hope you're encouraged, uplifted. I hope there's a message here that you just feel at home here. I would like anybody who is not subscribed to please subscribe. Help out the algorithms. I know a lot of suppression is happening, and I'm just a small channel as it is, so it's even worse, but even the bigger channels are getting suppressed. And so I would really appreciate a comment, a like, a share, whatever you feel called to do. And just know that I always appreciate your interaction here on my channel. And so let's do the Sabia Symbol for this Capricorn new moon. Happening December 23rd. 3 stained glass windows, 1 damaged by bombardment. The key word is commemoration. The theme for this new moon in Capricorn is reverence. This symbol speaks to those objects and structures that commemorate the most meaningful experiences of our life, and to the need of a safeguard and to protect these monuments from careless and superficial destruction by those who have no appreciation or understanding of higher values. Think about that. What has made you who you are? Have you allowed people to step on that, to diminish that? Now is the time to say no more of that, especially going forward, because you think it's been difficult over the past 2 years. I believe we're still going to be seeing many things revealed and truths coming out. And it's going to be alarming for the average person that's just, going about life, thinking life is life. We really have to expand upon that. I believe that's where the Jupiter and Aries energy coming in, remembering that we're spirit and allowing that fire, passion to be ignited now under this new moon in Capricorn and embodying it with the Capricorn energy. The image of 3 stained glass windows, 1 damaged by bombardment, is one of the reversed or negative symbols, and it alludes to strength and durability of survival. The emphasis in this degree is on the indestructibility of experience and spiritual reality. So no matter what weapons are formed against you, they shall not prosper. Remember who you are. Your soul is indestructible. Your experiences that have made you who you are and your place in the world cannot be shaken if you have a strong security within you of knowing who you are. Wow. Windows symbolize vision, and here a beautiful vision was withstood an attack that damaged but did not completely destroy it. So in other words, things that have happened in our life may have brought you down. You may have went into depression, but always know that the dark night of the soul, which is very typical with Capricorn, Saturn, restrictive energy, we all go through dark nights of the soul. That is where everything that you've believed in, everything that you valued seems to just get the rug pulled out from underneath of you, whatever causes your spiritual awakening. And you just feel dark, you feel naked, you feel vulnerable, you feel scared. The dark night of the soul is for real, and we all go through it. Think about in your lifetime where you've been just feeling like you were rock bottom, but you can overcome it because your spirit, your soul cannot be destroyed. The life lessons are meant to teach us wisdom and knowledge. That is totally Capricorn energy. And it also brings about the master within you. Should have brought my water in here. It's hot. Okay, so the window symbolizes vision. And here a beautiful vision has withstood an attack that damaged but did not completely destroy it. The implication here is that visions and values are not always shared, and that there is also a need to protect these intangible treasures from attack by those who are indifferent, who see things differently and feel threatened. Have we seen that shit over the past couple of years? And really always don't buy into the separate, divide, conquer agenda that's happening, people. You got to know who you are. On the positive, at its highest, this symbol represents integrity and inner strength, or an ability to withstand criticism and personal assault. Fuck, I can handle that. Who hasn't been criticized, right? Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it define who you are. Roll your shoulders back like that goat, the sea goat. Keep climbing that mountain and fighting the good fight on the earth plane. You're here for a reason. On the negative, overprotection and possessiveness. The ascent is on a stark reminder of painful periods of life that you have survived. God, I've been through it. Trust me, and I'm sure you have too. We all might experience something a little different, but there's something that's happened in your life that's really knocked you on your ass or knocked the wind out of you, so to speak. You got to rise above it and take those experiences, not leaving them behind, not forgiving people for shitty behavior, but for the lessons that you've learned, and keep climbing that mountain. The opportunity is your greatest advantage lies in protecting what you value from attack and loss. And so Capricorn energy being an earth sign too, family, home, security. Also remember that experience can never be destroyed. That's why we don't do cancel culture. That's why we want to know the truth of our history so that we're not making the same mistakes over and over again. We've been fucking lied to about religion. We've been lied to about the government. We've been lied to about the indoctrination of schooling. We've been lied to about the wars. We've been lied to about so many things. But once the veil gets removed from your eye and you start seeing the rose-colored glasses come off and you see things for you for what they are, it can be depressing. It's that Saturn restrictive energy going, holy shit, what have I done? Remember spirit. Remember you are spirit. And nobody can take away your life experiences. Don't allow gaslighting. Don't allow what has happened and aspired over the last 2 years get brushed under the rug. No, 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 no. Accountability. Take back authority over your life. Go forward. not forgetting what happened, but gaining wisdom and clarity, security. The risk is guard against placing your values in things rather than in what they represent. So this is again with an earthy energy, especially Capricorn. Don't value things, but what they mean to you in your heart, what your family may mean, what your job and your income, your manifestation of abundance may be. So guard against placing your values in things rather than what they represent to you. Let me grab a drink of tea here. The stepping stones for this new moon in Capricorn are assault on values. Boy, is that happening in the United States, and I'm probably everywhere, right? Survival, endurance, indestructibility, significance, memorial, historical record, chronicle, and testimony. Let no weapon formed against you prosper. If you are not in alignment right now, you will be tossed and turned and persecuted. Do not let any of those things knock you down. And I find it interesting, historical record, because I do believe the United States was founded on good values. And that I believe that the greed, right, of the material things in the structures like government, whatever, the indoctrination of Rockefeller medicine. We should just call it Rockefeller drugs, drug pushing, right? Anyway, I could go on that, but because we do have that exact conjunction with the Pluto return of the United States in the sign of Capricorn, we have this new moon, this new initiation. You or I may not be able to do jack shit about what's happening in the world, right? 10th house, but we can definitely have an influence over how we choose to represent ourselves in the world. Yeah. Spirit of fire. Okay, so let's do a couple cards for this new moon. Plant your seed. The energy that you would like to take forward with your wisdom from the lessons that you've learned in the past. I can't believe I shut this door. I gotta shut this heater vent. Wow. You guys, I've had two different family members ask me if I was trying to get more views because I'm always wearing tank tops and apparently my tits are hanging out. Totally not intentional. I am menopausal. And so a lot of times I'm hot, cold. I could care less about showing my tits off to anybody on camera. In fact, I unsubscribe from people who do that. And I always thought I would fit far enough down on the screen where you couldn't see them, but I've had two different family members ask me that. Excuse me. They don't know who I am, apparently. You guys probably know me more, but just saying. That's why I wanted to clarify that right now. If you were a menopausal woman ever in your life, you understand what I'm talking about. So what is this Capricorn new moon energy? I will be coming on with a 5-card draw for Capricorn season. So I'll say it here and I'll probably say it there too. Blessed solar return to you, beautiful Capricorns. I hope that you're in tune with your feelings and emotions. I know that it is not always that easy for the Capricorns to do that, but that truly is where you look to balance yourself out in this world. First message is Mars motion. We currently have Mars retrograde in the sign of Gemini, communication. I've been saying this a lot lately. It feels like we've been going through this season of 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas. Do not allow yourself to experience burnout. Don't burn your brakes out. Do everything in moderation. 22 is also a master number. So balancing out motion. Make sure you're taking your physical energy here. That's what Mars represents. It also represents anger, war. Make sure that you are being in harmony right now. This represents motion on this card. So slow and steady. I know that's more of a Taurus energy, but just reminder during this setting a seed with the Capricorn energy, new moon, that you are really understanding. If you have anger surface, reflect upon it, channel it in a positive way. This may be asking you to take whatever it is within you that you are pissed off about and initiate something that you're passionate about. Do something, share something with others that, you know what, over the past 2 years, I'm really pissed off about this. I'm going to take action on representing truth, which is the universal truth. That's God's law, is truth. And we are living under deception. So allow this energy of Mars to set you in motion with a passion, at least if not physical motion right now, because we do have the Mars retrograde in Gemini. When does that go? Mars doesn't go direct until the 12th of January. So again, if it's not just physical, set the seed with this new moon on what you would like to do with something you're passionate about. Taurus, cultivate. So another earth energy. We have to sow the seeds. Taurus represents our values, our home, our resources. And a lot of us were under restriction over the last 2 years, and it had a huge influence on many people. There was a lot of depression, a lot of suicide over the last 2 years because of these bullshit lockdowns that are proven to not be good for human beings because we are social creatures. I would suggest that you know who you are and you know what you value at this time, because they're going to try it again. And I would highly recommend that you don't comply to any of the shit. Not this, not more of this, because the next one's going to be about climate. And again, we have Uranus in Taurus till 2026. There's a lot of earth changes. We're in a cycle. These are natural for the most part, other than their bullshit spraying in the sky. That is not conspiracy. Look it up. They try to make it sound like it's a good thing that they're spraying all these heavy metals and whatnot in our atmosphere. They're not. You cannot play God. I don't know if they're trying to block out the sun. I don't know what they're doing with it, but it is not conspiracy. It's real. Where am I going off into that? You have to have a reverence for your body and for the planet, because she is going through earth changes. We have the North Node and Uranus, both in Taurus, our foundations, our values, and finding beauty also in that, because Venus represents Taurus and Libra. We got the Mars energy. Mars represents Aries. That's where Jupiter is. So Jupiter expands anything. So just make sure that if you get angry, you are not acting out of impulse, because that Aries energy can be very hot-headed and just act without thinking. Caution you for that as well. One more from my beautiful star codes. I love this deck a lot. And the next message is conjunction alliance. So the conjunction is when two planets are close together. That's what the sun and the moon are, both in Capricorn at the new moon. That is a conjunction. This is an alliance. So the sun represents our personality and kind of our outer expression. The moon represents our inner subconscious intuition, our inner emotional world. Make sure you're balancing that out and allowing it to be in harmony. That's perfect for the Capricorn Cancer axis. This card is reminding us to to be in tune with our emotions, our intuition, but also to have reverence for our life force energy, the sun. Very beautiful. Oh, let's see. Beautiful. So we have Mars, Taurus, and a conjunction. This card is 22, which equals 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. That's a foundational card, strong foundations. This card is another 2. So foundations again with the Taurus energy. And again, the conjunction is alliance. So working in harmony with your spirit, soul. And then we have the divine feminine, the Empress card. So being real, being raw, being vulnerable, being intuitive. This energy is not wimpy or weaky. This is something that somebody with the Empress knows thyself. They're in tune with their feelings and emotions, and they have no shame in taking action, setting the mark in motion, right? Their place in the world, a reverence, an alliance. Beautiful. So being receptive, intuitive, being open to the shifts and the changes that we're going through. And the I am affirmation for this new moon in Capricorn. I am in control of my life. So there you are. We can't control what others are doing, and we definitely can't control the dismantling and the awakening that's happening at the same time. But what we can do is how we choose to respond to it. So being in control of your life is to, like I said in the beginning, know who you are, go about yourself in the world, being sure of who you are. Don't be swayed. Don't allow people to take your life experiences away from you. They can't anyway, especially not when you know your foundation. Anything else? When you start stepping into your authenticity, that alliance from spirit comes down from within you. The Holy Spirit guides you. Nobody can take that away from you. So these out of control psychopaths who think they're in control cannot, their weapons can't work because they're not truthful. Truth always stands alone. To me, that's what God is truth. So this is a beautiful time, definitely initiation for newness with all this cardinal energy. So make sure you are really taking care of yourself. Ascension symptoms that you may feel with the solstice, with the Capricorn energy throughout the next month are teeth, clenching jaws, tightness in your bones and in your muscles. So stretching and extreme hydration is also needed at this time. Just keep that in mind. And until I see you the next time, shalom, shalom. Thanks for being here.